Now at noon, we continue to make progress in lowering our COVID numbers. A look at the work that still lies ahead. Plus, the FDA is advising parents to watch out for potentially tainted infant formula. The product's under a recall coming up. Every year, Americans lose millions of dollars on income-related scams, and now criminals are targeting people looking for a certain type of job. We'll explain coming up at 12:16. And a kid from Fayetteville helps police find a missing man. The incredible story coming up just a little bit later. First, we want to say good afternoon and happy Friday to you. I'm Michael Aaron, meteorologist Nathan Scott over in the Weather Center. Nathan, it was a real shock to wake up this morning just how cold it was.
Absolutely, Michael. Good afternoon to you. We had temperatures yesterday, this time into the low 70s. And now look at the temperature difference. 32 degrees cooler here in Little Rock, 30 degrees cooler in Pine Bluff and Arkadelphia. So the numbers out there this afternoon are still into the 30s for many spots. 38 is the temperature at Little Rock, 38 in Russellville, 40 in Hot Springs. The clouds have moved out. We'll see plenty of sun today. Also some good news. The winds not as gusty as what we saw yesterday, but with a little bit of wind, it feels like 34 in Little Rock. It feels like 35 into Searcy, and it feels like 33 in Arkadelphia. Today, highs, they'll top out into the upper 40s to lower 50s, even with all that sun. We've got a warming trend going into the weekend. You're going to like the weekend forecast, but look at the rain chances for the next 5 days. We're dry this weekend, and then the chance of rain starts to ramp back up. Monday, Tuesday, next week is going to be very active, not only with the threat of rain, but maybe even the threat of some wintry weather for parts of the state. I'll let you know when that chance arrives coming up later.
All right, Nathan, the governor's daily COVID-19 updates will soon become weekly updates when it comes to those numbers. Daily numbers, they'll still be available on the Department of Health's website. But this change comes as we continue to see our numbers go down. More than 1,100 new COVID cases were reported yesterday in Arkansas. More than 12,000 people in the state are dealing with the virus this afternoon. 931 people are in the hospital. That is a dip below 1,000, and it's the lowest number that we have seen since the beginning of the Omicron surge. That said, we still reported 45 more deaths on Thursday. While our active cases and hospitalizations are on the decline, the number of people vaccinated is going up. Despite that increase, Governor Asa Hutchinson and health officials say this is not the time to let our guard down and not go out and get the shot. The CDC has even made some changes to the time frame for getting a booster shot so people stay as protected as possible.
Last Friday, the CDC changed their guidance for booster doses. People may now get their booster dose as early as 3 months after they receive their primary vaccination series, so that makes it a little faster for people to become fully vaccinated and boosted.
That was State Medical Officer Dr. Jennifer Dillahay. She says this closer time frame could help even more people, help even more to fight against another COVID-19 surge. Comparisons between COVID-19 and the flu have surged alongside the Omicron variant. Casey Decker with our Verify team dug into the numbers behind one comparison about death tolls.
COVID-19 has been compared and contrasted with the flu throughout the pandemic. One recent example, this viral tweet from a New York City ER doctor. He claimed, quote, more Americans died of COVID in the past 2 weeks than died of influenza in the past 3 years. The tweet was posted on January 30th. So let's verify. Did more people in the United States die of COVID in the 2 weeks before January 30th than died of the flu in the past 3 years? Our sources, the CDC and the National Center for Health Statistics. That center, the NCHS, one of their jobs is to compile death records from around the country. They track everything from strokes to overdoses to flu and COVID in weekly reports. It takes a couple weeks for those records to get processed, so that's why we're doing this story now instead of when the tweet was initially posted. Anyway, according to this database, between the week of January 30th, 2019 and the week of January 30th, 2022, 16,844 people died from the flu in the U.S. And between January 16th, 2022 and January 29th, 23,524 people died from COVID-19. So we can verify, yes, more people in the U.S. died of COVID in the 2 weeks before January 30th than died of the flu in the past 3 years. With your Verify, I'm Casey Decker.
Back here at home, help has arrived for Arkansas homeowners struggling because of the COVID-19 pandemic. The Arkansas Homeowner Assistance Fund started taking applications this week. Rental assistance has been available for quite some time now, but this is the first fund specifically for homeowners who have experienced job loss, income reduction, and increased health care costs because of the pandemic. The Arkansas Development Finance Authority is overseeing the program, and it hopes to prevent delinquent mortgages, defaults, foreclosures, and loss of utilities.
It's going to be on a first-come, first-served basis. So if you apply and qualify, it's always going to be best to do it as quickly as you possibly can if you have that need. But if you find yourself in that situation, say 6 months from now, you can still apply if the money is available.
Eligibility is determined by need and household income. To qualify, you must have an annual household income of less than 150% of the median income of your county. Maybe that's a little bit confusing for you. So that would be somewhere between $81,000 and $112,000 for a family of four, depending on where you live. Applicants have to certify that their hardship began after January 21st of 2020. If you want to apply or learn more, we have a link to the portal on thv-at-noon.com. Just look for this story. We've talked about it several times, and unfortunately, it's still a problem in our state. COVID cases are trending down, but the shortage of teachers and substitutes still a problem. The Department of Education is working on a long-term solution to the problem. They came up with the Arkansas Teacher Residency Model, which will allow people to earn their degree and license while they're in the classroom. We told you about a similar program in Tennessee right here yesterday. ADE officials say this could be anyone from a paraprofessional in a school district to high school students.
The benefit of working while you're doing this is that work experience can count for some of the college credit as part of the experiential learning.
The model will start this fall. A substitute company, meanwhile, is working on incentives. Those include giving $100 to people who refer a sub and paying for the fees associated with becoming one. Let's get to a consumer alert this afternoon. The FDA is advising parents to watch out for potentially tainted infant formula. The warning concerns certain powdered baby formulas made by Abbott Nutrition at a plant in Sturgis, Michigan. The products were sold under the Simlac, Elecare, and Mentum brands and have an expiration date of April 1st or later. The FDA says it's investigating reports of 4 babies who developed bacterial infections after ingesting formula. The agency says the illness may have contributed to one infant's death. Energy prices have been on a roller coaster ride this week, which has led to pain at the pump. Oil prices have come down today, but shot above $95 a barrel earlier this week as investors try to read the tea leaves over potential conflict between Russia and Ukraine. That has led to pump prices rising above $3.52 a gallon on average nationwide. I paid $3.19 today. And sticker shock is accelerating at the car dealership. According to new research from Edmunds.com, more than 80% of Americans are paying above sticker price for new vehicles. Compare that to just 2.8% of car buyers last year. The average price for a new vehicle is now more than $45,000. All right, imagine this. You find your dream job listing and apply. What would you do if you discover it's really just a scam? A closer look at that story ahead at 12:16, Nathan.
We've got lots of sunshine, Michael, out there, lots of blue sky, but it is a cool end to the work week. Temperatures will be warming up for the weekend, and then next week, well, it gets pretty interesting, and I'll break down the details of what I can tell you after the break.